Hello students, today we are going to learn factorization and splitting the middle term. In the previous class, when we had learned about this factorization process, we had considered only the positive numbers. Today we'll be dealing with negative terms as well. So the process remains the same. We are going to first make sure that the expression is written in standard form. We should first have the quadratic term, then linear term, and then finally the constant term. And if at all it is not given in standard form, you're going to rearrange the terms in such a way so that you have x square term, x term, and the constant term. In this case, we want two numbers whose product is 21 times the coefficient here, that's 1. 21 times 1, that is 21 itself. And the sum we want negative 10. Please note here the sum is negative 10. We want positive product and the sum to be negative. The product will come out to be positive only if both the terms are positive or both are negative. In this case, we are going to consider both the numbers negative because we want the sum to be negative. So if we take negative 7 and negative 3, that is going to add up to negative 10 and the product would be positive 21. So we'll take this question, x square minus 10x plus 21. The first and the last term remains the same and this minus 10x can be written as minus 7x minus 3x. Again, the same thing. If you rearrange this, if you write minus 3x and minus 7x, doesn't matter, it will still give you the same answer. Now we are going to take common here. In this case, we have x common, so we are left with x minus 7. Now please note here I am taking negative 3 common. So if I am taking a negative number outside, that means the signs inside the bracket, they are going to reverse. So we have minus 3 here. We are going to times it by x so that we get minus 3x. And we want positive 21 here, so we'll be writing minus 7. Please note, as I told you, that the signs inside will get reversed. So this one was negative, we have written this as positive. This was positive, we have written this as negative. Now these two brackets, they are same. We are going to take outside. We have x minus 7 outside and we are left with x minus 3. So x square minus 10x plus 21 can be written as x minus 7 times x minus 3. Now let's consider the next one. We have x square minus 23x plus 42. We want two numbers whose product is 42 times the coefficient here, that is 1. 42 times 1, that is 42 itself. And then we want the sum to be negative 23. We want positive product and we want the sum to be negative. The product can be positive only when both the numbers are positive or both are negative. In this case, we are going to consider both negative terms because we want the sum to be negative. So if we take minus 21 and minus 2, they're going to give us the sum minus 23. And when we multiply these two, we are going to get the product 42. So this 23x, we are going to split and write it as minus 21x minus 2x. We have x square minus 23x plus 42. The first term and the last term, we are going to keep as it is. And this minus 23x can be written as minus 21x minus 2x. So from first two terms, we'll take common. We have x common here. So we'll be left with x minus 21. From the next two terms, we are going to take minus 2 common. So we'll be left with x minus 20. Now, please notice, I told you this in the last session also, that we have to make sure that these two brackets, they are same. If they're not same, we'll get stuck. We will not be able to proceed further. We have to take common in such a way so that the brackets come out to be same. So we have taken negative outside. That is why the terms which are inside the bracket, their signs have got reversed. This was negative earlier. Now we are going to write it as positive. This was positive earlier. Now we are going to write it as negative. Now this bracket is common. X minus 21, we can take it outside. And we are going to be left with x minus 2. So this expression we can factorize and write it as x minus 21 times x minus 2. Now let's consider the next question. We have x square plus 6x minus 16. We want two numbers whose product is minus 16 times the coefficient here, that is 1, minus 16 times 1, that is minus 16 itself. And then we want the sum to be positive 6. Now please note in this case, the product we need negative. If the product is negative, that means one number has to be positive and the other one has to be negative. Now how to decide this? If we have this 8 and 2, that is going to give us the product 16. We want the product to be negative 16. So how to decide which one we can consider as positive and which one as negative? The sum we want positive, then in that case, we are going to take the bigger one positive and the smaller one negative. So positive 8 and negative 2 will give us the product negative 16. Positive 8 and negative 2, when we are going to add, we'll get the sum positive 6. So these are the required numbers here. So we have x square plus 6x minus 16. That can be written as x square plus 8x minus 2x minus 16. The first and the last terms remain the same, and 6x can be written as 8x minus 2x, which we have already discussed in the first step. So now we'll take x common from here. We are left with x plus 8. And in this case, we want to repeat the bracket here. We need x plus 8 again. So in this case, we will be taking minus 2 common so that we are left with x plus 8. Both the terms were negative here. We have taken negative outside, and now the signs inside, they've got reversed. So both of them have become positive. Now we have this x plus 8 common that can be taken outside, and we are then left with x minus 2. So we can factorize this and write it as x plus 2 times x minus 2. Now the next question, x square minus 17x plus 16. We want two numbers whose product is 16 times the coefficient here, that's 1. 16 times 1, that is 16 itself. And then we want the sum to be negative 17. This one is very simple. If you take negative 16, negative 1, that is going to give you the product positive 16. And when you add these, you will get the sum minus 17. So this question which was given to us, x square minus 17x plus 16, can be written as minus 16x minus x, like this. So this minus 17x can be written as minus 16x minus x. 16, the last term and the first term remains as it is. Now we'll take common from here. X can be taken common and we are left with x minus 16. From these two terms, we can take negative common so that we get x minus 16. As I told you earlier, you have to take common in such a way so that the brackets are repeated. Now we have this x minus 16 common. We are going to keep it outside. And then we are left with x minus, there is nothing here. Nothing means that's actually 1. 1 usually we don't write. So this is x minus 1. So this expression which was given to us can be written as x minus 16 times x minus 1. Thank you, students. I hope the concept is clear to you. In the next class, we'll be doing a few more questions of this type.